Welcome, NBA bettors from around the globe, to the Thursday edition of The Release Show. I'm your host, John Metler, sports betting analyst here at Covers.com, and I'm joined by Adam Scherher from EV Analytics. Adam, tell them what happened on Tuesday with your picks.
Yeah, went 3-0 on Tuesday, so that was nice. I think the show before I'd split or something, so it was nice to go 3-0.
Yeah, we got Jordan Poole under 6.5 assists, Nikola Jokic under 15.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He started hot. It was funny because he started hot, and I was like doing the math quickly in my head. I'm like, it's such a big number. Like, even if he keeps this pace, he's still probably going to fall under the 50.5. And then you got Miles Bridges under, that wasn't even close. That was under the whole leg.
Yeah, I had seen Poole, I think, had 3 at halftime, and then I had seen that Jokic had, I think in the first 3 minutes of the game, he had 9 or something. And I was like, okay, this is not the start we needed, but ended up.
And then I was laughing because the Wizards had, I think, 70 points or something in the first half. And then I checked and Poole had 3. I was like, my guy, keep shooting.
Yeah, I'd seen a tweet, I don't know, maybe after the first quarter of that game. I obviously wasn't watching it, but something about the Wizards scoring 1 million points. And I was like, of course, they're just going to hang 200 on the Timberwolves because he took a Poole under.
All right, before we get rolling here, for one, Adam is 13-7 now in the releases, up 6.3 units, which is awesome. And before we give out today's picks, subscribe, keep this show going, because why would you not want to keep this show going? Adam's up 6 units since we've started. Also, drop us a comment, let us know where if you placed a bet, if you found a better number. Everything's fluid for us as well. So if you can help out our fellow bettors here, and maybe we give out a -115, you see -110 somewhere else. Everything's always changing, so it's really helpful if you can let us in the comments know what number you're betting, and also let me know where you're watching from, because this is growing, and I've been writing down the cities so I can put the pins in a map when I get the map. But I know last time we had Wichita, Kansas, New Jersey, and Cape Town, South Africa, and then we had Joe Osborne lied to us again. But so let's get some more comments in the chat about where people are watching from. If you're new to the Release Show, how this is going to work is Adam's going to give you 3 picks for the NBA player props day. We'll tell you which game we're betting on. We'll tell you the prop market we're betting on, and then we'll tell you the player, just kind of give you a stall, give you a chance to have the opportunity to log in and find the bet. Then we'll tell you what the bet is. Adam will give you a breakdown. Adam is from EV Analytics. They do fantastic projections. Their projections are on the Covers website, as well as if you go to our sports, NBA, and then prop projections, those projections on there are from EV Analytics. But all those projections are also just numbers, so it's nice to have Adam here to give us a little more context to those numbers. And that's the the best part of doing these release shows, is you kind of get to hear a little more insight into just seeing a pure projection. So we'll move on to the first release here, and we are bringing you to FanDuel, and the game is Sacramento Kings, New Orleans Pelicans. This is a big game too for these two teams. And then we're looking for the points market. And the player is CJ McCollum. And then the bet, this is a different number than when we, I know you're still going to like it. But the bet Adam was originally going to give out was CJ McCollum under 23.5. plus 100. This is now 24.5 minus 122. I think that's pretty similar when you factor in the juice and the point moving up. But the bet is CJ McCollum under 24.5 points minus 122. Adam, you're still good with 24.5 minus 122?
Yeah, that's closer to where it had opened. Still looks fine. We have him projected for just shy of 21 points in about 36 minutes. Both of these teams, middle of the pack in pace. You don't have Brandon Ingram for the Pels, but that's baked in. Obviously it's factored into the projection. He didn't play, hasn't played recently. So that's pretty much just all baked in at this point. Nothing you really need to worry about. Nothing's changed from recent games. So still projects well at that price also.
Yeah, I love this bet personally. I think a big thing for me, this CJ McCollum, the minutes probably will be there just because of the magnitude of the game. But the one thing I really like about this bet is that, the Sacramento Kings have had some injuries here. Kevin Huerter's out, Malik Monk's out. Those guys are more offensive people who would try to guard McCollum, and he'd have an advantage over them. The flip in that lineup is Keon Ellis is now in the lineup, and he's their best perimeter defender. So it's kind of like that. This current version of this Kings roster is will make it a little more difficult on McCollum to score versus ones he's faced in the past. So with that projection way under there, do you have the break even on that? Because it's pretty big.
It was -2.
Yeah.
231.
Yeah. This will, I guarantee this will flip back to 23.5. Might even get to
maybe. And to your point about Keon Ellis, also more Davion Mitchell minutes now.
Yeah. Yeah. Then that's the guy coming off the bench, right? After Keon Ellis. So I think that really helps this bet as well. Just like what's the current roster for the Kings. So the first release is CJ McCollum under 24.5 points, -122 at FanDuel. And we'll move on to the second release here, and we're going to bet 365. And the game we're looking for is Chicago Bulls versus Detroit Pistons. And then we are looking for a points and rebounds, so a combo prop. Perfect. And then the player is DeMar DeRozan. And the bet is DeMar DeRozan under 33.5 points and rebounds, -110 at bet 365. So once again, that's DeMar DeRozan under 33.5 points and rebounds, -110 at bet 365. Adam, if you want to break this one down for us.
Yeah, kind of a scary one just because it is a good matchup with Detroit. But the Bulls are 10-point favorites, so you do have a little bit of blowout risk here, which is certainly an out for us. But we have DeRozan projected for 38 minutes, just shy of 31 points plus rebounds. So pretty nice margin for error there. This line has moved in our favor a bit already. It opened, depending on the site you're looking at, opened at either -105 or -110. On some books, it actually opened at under 34.5, -105, and then came down to 33.5. So we've already gotten some movement in our favor, which is nice, and just projects even in 38 minutes to come up short of this number.
Yeah, so the best price is that bet 365 -110. If you don't have bet 365, he's about -115. I think pretty much across the board. I was looking at before we came on here. I think it was like FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, all of them pretty much are -115. The best price is 365 at -110. So if you can grab that. If you don't have 365, you have some options there too as of right now of where you can bet this. So once again, the second release is DeMar DeRozan under 33.5 points and rebounds. So we'll move on to the third release here. And we're staying at bet 365, making this easy on everyone. And we're staying in the same game, Chicago Bulls, Detroit Pistons. Not a big game, but the props, they pay the same whether you win on a game that's very, very meaningful or a game that's not very meaningful. So, and we only have a couple days left here to take advantage of some Detroit Pistons props. So we are looking for the assist market this time in this Bulls Pistons game. And the player we're looking at and the numbers there, which is great because it's by far the best price, is Cade Cunningham. And the bet is Cade Cunningham under 6.5 assists plus 115. So once again, that is Cade Cunningham under 6.5 assists plus 115. Adam, if you want to break this one down for us.
Yeah, so I mean, we might end up losing this one. Cunningham is questionable. He hasn't played in like 5 games. I think the last game he played was April 1st against Memphis. But you've made this point a lot of times on questionable guys. Obviously, if they don't play, your bet just gets voided. But there is always sort of additional outs where maybe they're just a little bit more limited than they typically would be. Maybe they re-aggravate the injury. Like you have those potential outcomes in addition to him just not projecting that well here. We haven't projected between 32 and 33 minutes. We haven't projected for just shy of 6.5 assists. So just based on the projection, basically you're getting plus money for essentially a coin flip, which you should always be taking. But then you do also just sort of have a little bit more volatility than you typically would as well.
Yeah. Do you know what his projected minutes are?
We have it at 32.2.
Yeah. So even at 32.2, you like this going under 6.5. I would say, I don't know for sure. I'm just taking a stab here. This is the last home game for the Pistons. Obviously, you kind of want to make your season ticket holders a little happy. I wouldn't be shocked if he plays and then he only plays like maybe in the mid-20s and something. They put him in to make everyone excited that, this is our last game. I don't think it would be a great look from like a season ticket holder standpoint if he just sits the last game, if that makes sense. Yeah. So which would, if he does play the amount of minutes you're playing, you still like this bet. I'm just saying that might be like a little added boost. And I know from like an organizational standpoint, I think they want to get a look at Marcus Sasser too. So that could be the guy who kind of comes in and kind of takes those minutes away too. He's been playing 30 minutes with Cade Cunningham out. So I think that's just, maybe you might catch that little extra boost here on this bet. Either way, you like it. So that's the best part.
Yeah, like that's the nice part is like we basically have him projected for normal minutes. I mean, like he played 34 in his most recent game, but generally you're projecting around 32 minutes for Cunningham in any given game. So it's not like this is projected to be a good bet because we are making that leap and assuming that he plays 28 minutes. But that is obviously also a potential outcome.
Yeah. And he's also, he hasn't missed 4 games. So you wouldn't expect elevated minutes at any capacity. Someone, your season's done. He's your franchise player. He's coming off the knee injury and stuff. So I'm on board here with this one too.
It's extremely difficult to like envision the game where Cade Cunningham misses 4 games and then in a completely meaningless game in April, the Pistons just play him like 39 minutes.
Yeah, his coach is not Tom Thibodeau, so I think we're okay here. So the third release is Cade Cunningham under 6.5 assists plus 115. So I'll just quickly run through all 3 bets again. So the first one is CJ McCollum under 24.5 points minus 122 at FanDuel. The second bet is DeMar DeRozan under 33.5 points and rebounds, minus 110 at Bet365. And the third one is Cade Cunningham under 6.5 assists, plus 115 at Bet365. Adam, any closing thoughts for us?
Hopefully go 3-0 again today.
Yeah. Tell everyone where they can follow you on X as well.
Yeah, you can follow me at Ship My Money DFS.
Yeah, you can see some good baseball takes too on there. So he's a big Orioles fan. He's excited for Jackson Holiday. So we will be back Tuesday, 10:30 a.m. This is our last regular season game. That'll be the play-in tournament. We'll be looking at play-in tournament on Tuesday. So we'll be back on 10:30 on Tuesday. He's coming off a sweep, maybe like 6-0 this week. That'd be awesome. We get up. I like it. You got some plus money ones too here. Plus money on Cade Cunningham. Even money on not even money. It was minus 122. All right, that's the show. Don't forget to like, subscribe. That concludes the NBA prop picks for this week, powered by EV Analytics. Mick, play the song. That means end the show.